Bryan Cranston, one of my favorite actors. You probably recognize him from the Breaking Bad television series.
I am the danger.
Pegs Make America Great Again as racist in an interview with Chris Wallace on CNN after a heated exchange with Bill Maher. This is what he says.
You got into a tussle recently with Bill Maher about critical race theory and wokeness. When you look at the political discourse in our country today and the role that media plays in it, what do you think?
It's difficult to try to find truly unbiased reporting, news that really is straight shooters. You know, this conversation I had with Bill, we're talking about critical race theory, and I think it's imperative that it's taught, that we look at our history, much the same, I think, that Germany has looked at their history in involvement in the wars, that the 1 and 2, and embrace it and say, this is where we went wrong. This is how it went wrong. When I see the Make America Great Again, my comment is, do you accept that could possibly be construed as a racist remark? And most people, a lot of people go, how could that be racist? Make America great again? I said, so just ask yourself from an African-American experience, when was it ever great in America for the African-American? When was it great? So if you're making it great again, it's not including them.
To end this,
I can't disagree with him. I cannot disagree with him one bit. Just look at what the Republican Party is trying to do. They want to say America is the greatest nation in the world. In fact, that's exactly what Sarah Huckabee Sanders says in a tweet earlier this week. We should never teach our kids to hate America. America is the greatest country in the world has ever known, And our kids should know that the identity that truly matters is one that we all share, our identity as children of God and citizens of the United States of America. Now, I would agree with that if it wasn't for the simple fact that you represent a party that is trying to wipe out American history. I don't mean wipe out, I mean whitewash. You want to talk about the Founding Fathers, but you want to talk about Frederick Douglass. You want to talk about the moon landing, but you don't want to talk about Martin Luther King. Now, you're okay with quoting him. Now, you'll quote him till you're all red in the face. Trying to prove to yourself and trying to prove to everyone else out there that you're not a bunch of racist pricks. But every time you try to, you prove that you are racist pricks. And that saying, Make America Great Again, stamped on those red hats that Donald Trump gave away and threw out like he was throwing toilet paper at the citizens of Puerto Rico after the flood that hit during his presidency. That is a racist symbol. Because we've had great moments. But when has America ever really, truly been great? You want to talk about the Constitution of the United States, but you don't want to talk about the Civil Rights Movement. You want to talk about how Donald Trump has become one of the great founding fathers of America, to the point where you want him to be carved on beside the founding fathers on Mount Rushmore, but you don't want to talk about, and you do everything to try to cover up the civil rights and voting rights movement. You want to complain, whine and cry about how Donald Trump the election from Donald Trump was stolen in 2020 without any kind of evidence, and now we're showing that evidence has shown that people in the media have lied about that. But you're doing everything in your power to try to take away the Voting Rights and Civil Rights Acts. America is not a great nation. Contrary to what Sarah Huckabee Sanders said, America is not the greatest nation. In the Bible, it borrows something from the Bible. He who is without sin shall cast the first stone. America cannot do that. America should not do that because it's not without sin. None of us are. So the claim that America is the greatest nation in the world, while ignoring its incredibly destructive flaws, is nothing more than arrogance. If you want me to get biblical, it's high-mindedness. It's the most dangerous kind of high-mindedness. Now again, we've had great moments, but America is not great. Look at what's happening right now. You got psychopaths in the Congress and Senate, all of them Republican, not doing a thing about the things they campaigned for to get elected, but doing everything they can for the bidding of Donald Trump. Just yesterday, at the time I'm making this video, just yesterday, we saw hours of Republican senators grilling Attorney General Merrick Garland, not on policy, not on things that could save American lives, but because they were told to do so by Donald Trump. One of them, of course, being Ted Cruz. Another, of course, being Lindsey Graham. America is not a great nation. We've had great moments that should have made us a great nation, but it didn't. The Civil Rights and Voting Rights Acts weren't met with applause. They were met with overt racism. A lot of this racism coming from the Republican Party. Martin Luther King wasn't greeted with open arms, telling the truth what this country can be and what it should be. He was met with a gunshot and an assassination. This is not a great nation. We have the potential to be a great nation, but because of people like Sarah Huckabee Sanders, like Lauren Boebert, like Ted Cruz, like Lindsey Graham, like Andy Biggs, and especially people like Mary Jean Taylor Greene, we can't be a great nation. Because they will always find every possible reason and every possible way to push us backwards as a nation. The progress we made for the last 200 years, the growing pains of this nation, from slavery all the way to the present day, will mean nothing to these people if they can see a way to push us backwards to the nation that they want, not the nation we need to survive, the nation that they want. A nation of regression and hatred towards people of color, towards the LGBTQ. We cannot allow this to happen. CTP Know The Truth. God bless. Peace to the left, justice to the right.
I am the danger.